Welcome to Second Take, the show that focuses on the issues behind the news. Mining Weekly editor Martin Creamer joins me today to unpack the latest in the mining industry. Welcome, Martin.
Thanks, Ashley.
Now, with Chris Griffith stepping down as GoldFields CEO, tell us about the positions that will be filled.
Yes, Chris Griffith stood down very suddenly. It was the first item on Sens yesterday, and I heard it on the news coming in and I was stunned. But all of a sudden, two other faces are really prominent. And the one is Martin Priest, who's going to be acting CEO. And the other one is Benford Mogalakwena, who has been working with Martin Priest. So in actual fact, this is the biggest transformational leap we've had here, because Benford Mogalakwena will run GoldFields South Africa. We've only got one asset left, which is South Deep, but it's a big asset. It's an important asset, and it's an asset that was troubling the group. But suddenly, Martin Priest and Benford Mogalakwena, they've put it together. They've put it into a new orbit. And the baton changing between Martin Priest and Benford Mogalakwena has been so smooth. I mean, smoother than a margarine, because those two guys have worked together. And Benford has been really a de facto general manager for all these times of South Deep, and we've seen South Deep really do well. So that's a very good temporary change. Perhaps it'll become a permanent change. And then Martin Priest as well. That could become a permanent change, because, he's done so much for that South Deep. Everything he's touched has just turned to gold. They've got more output. They're making money, and they put in this sun energy, which has been so pioneering, and they're looking to wind energy now. So hopefully, we will have a really smooth baton changes there in that group, because it's important that company's doing quite a lot in Chile at the moment, bringing on a new project that's going to have to be cared for quite well. But in South Africa, we look at the South Deep. It's probably still running when other mines are virtually closed down. It's got a long horizon, and we want that to work well, and it is at the moment.
Now, underground mining at Amplats Mogalakwena PGMs mine might begin in 2024.
Yes, so, we always think of Mogalakwena as a big open pit mine, really doing well, flagship, good output from there, and valuable output. A lot of the byproducts, contributing to the costs very, very well. Now it's taking that next step, which so many open cast mines are going to do, I think, in the world going forward. Go underground there. And we saw very successful move underground at Phoenicia, where next year that diamond mining will go underground. So that group is well versed with how you do it via declines. The declines are already got exploration permits. They need to change those to mining permits. But we will have a very good, high sort of value and also long outlook operation there for some time, now that it's going underground at Mogalakwena, starting really to ramp up soon, and also become a fully fledged underground mine.
Lastly, Martin, Anglo American CEO says that the rapid changes in the world are disrupting the company. Just tell us how.
Yes, everybody's seeing disruptive changes, and one of the things they are clear about in the Anglo American group is the impact of climate change. And you're seeing it with mines preparing to ensure that with heavy rainfall they're not going to be flooded. You see these water control doors coming into the picture, and open cast mine and on declines. But also they're saying, the world is changing, and that you don't just get a permit very easily to mine, and then you don't keep it when it's got to be renewed. So that could be a very big challenge for these mines, because these countries are looking at sort of these assets that they've got in the ground more and more closely as we have fewer and fewer of them. And so you might have invested a lot in something and then suddenly find you can't get a mining license renewed. That is going to be a massive, massive blow. And at the same time now we've got this tremendous inflation. We've got logistical problems. They can't get equipment fast enough. But what was quite enlightening too is that they've had to change their workforces totally. And we hear from people operating in Canada, we know with Impala Platinum, I mean, they were saying, to keep your people there is some effort, because they can work with you for a couple of weeks and just move off because there's so many jobs around the place. And at the same time, the actual mining side of it is changing. They're talking of, harder rock, having to deal with a different sort of ore body, lower grades. So all in all, it's toughening. And it's going to be interesting to see how the world gets those metals and minerals. They're going to have to swing heavily into circular economies. They have to recycle everything, and there's got to be urban mining where you have no waste around the place. You get it all back. So otherwise we're probably going to run short in terms of not being able to get permits to go in to do things, and then big delays, and you need the metals and minerals now, particularly the metals and minerals that we're going to need for climate change mitigation. You can see governments stepping in now and saying, move the red tape, let's move. South Africa should wake up to that, because, we haven't found the critical minerals. We don't know where they are yet. We were searching for other things in our old exploration days. We haven't had new exploration days. So a lot of new effort, new strategy, new roadmaps need to be set up.
Thanks for speaking with us, Martin.
It's a great pleasure, Sashni.
That's it for today. Join us again next week for more news analysis on the local and global mining industries. To subscribe to Creamer Media's Engineering News and Mining Weekly, please email subscriptions at creamermedia.co.za.